Good afternoon, all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And David, thank you very much for that fantastic introduction. It's always good to be here today with members of the League of Cities and talking about something that's very, very important that I'm going to talk about a little bit today, and that is infrastructure and what our plans are here in the administration, what we're going to do to rebuild infrastructure throughout our community. But I do want to thank David and Sharon both for their hospitality here this afternoon. Again, always good to be here. You also heard that we unveiled our budget here this afternoon. Just came out a few minutes ago, and it's the 2025 budget. We're still working on the 24 budget. Haven't even got that one finalized yet. We brought the 25 one out just a few minutes ago. But what the 25 budget is going to one of the key things it's going to have in the budget itself is it's going to have key funding for education, and I call that human infrastructure. We're going to invest a large amount of money into education. We're going to try to get the teachers the pay raises they deserve. I know many are on spring break and are enjoying the spring break. I saw a few people on the motorcade over here this afternoon and enjoying spring break, our nation's capital. But we're going to get them the raise they deserve, and that's part of the human infrastructure program. But I do want to talk today about infrastructure development and how it's going to be applied to the cities. You know, we must broaden our vision to encompass not only sturdy foundations of roads and bridges, but also the electrifying potential of electric vehicles. Our cities stand at the crossroads of progress, and it's our collective duty to forge pathways that are resilient, sustainable, and posed for the challenges of tomorrow. I should say poised for the challenges of tomorrow. And that's one of the big things that I want to work on infrastructure wise is I know there is a big push for EV vehicles. And let me say this, and I've said this all on the campaign trail all this year so far. As far as electric vehicles, there's been candidates out there saying we're going to do it in 20 years, we're going to do it in 30 years, we're going to do it in 25 years. I will tell you this today. We will transition to EV vehicles when the infrastructure in this country is ready and not a day before. You know, back in my hometown in DeSoto, a town of about 36,000 people, there may be more charging stations. I'm not saying there aren't, but I know of one that's at a restaurant right off the highway there in DeSoto. And it's got 5 charging stations. 36,000 people, one charging station. It's not going to work. So that's why the transition to EVs is not going to happen until we're ready with the infrastructure. And you have my commitment. We will not transition to that until the infrastructure is ready. The arteries of our urban landscapes, represented by roads and bridges, are the lifelines that connect communities, facilitate commerce, and ensure the seamless flow of life. We must invest in the maintenance and enhancement of these vital conduits, recognizing that the strength of our infrastructure it's tied to the prosperity of our cities. And I know you've heard me a lot of times when I talk about my hometown of DeSoto, and I'm going to do that again. We have a main road in our city, and it's the way to go north and south in our town. And right now, there's a redevelopment plan going on in the city, and they just actually had a big city council meeting not too long ago, going over the rezoning a large area of that road, and it has to be done. It has to be done, and it's also going to be a development project for the city. That's not only going to bring jobs to my hometown, but also it's going to bring more money to the economy of my city, and that's true throughout the entire country. That's true throughout the entire country, and so I'm 100% behind the infrastructure plans that we have announced, and we're going to continue working on that. Simultaneously, let us not overlook the shift that's unfolding in transportation, the rise of electric vehicles, integrating EV infrastructure into our roads and bridges. Planning is an imperative step towards a sustainable future. By strategically placing charging stations along our highways and within our city centers, we can cater to the growing demand for our electric mobility, reducing our carbon footprint and embracing the transformative potential of clean transportation. Our commitment to infrastructure development is inclusive of roads, bridges, and EVs. It's not just a civic responsibility, but an investment in the resilience and vibrancy of our cities. As we navigate these uncharted territories, let us stand united in our pursuit of progress, creating a legacy that echoes through the ages. And there is a lot of projects, especially if you travel up through Pennsylvania, Delaware, New York. You got older bridges there, older bridges, and it's time to redo those bridges. And so that's what this money's for. Hampton Road, back in my hometown, it's time to redo that road. And so you have my commitment for infrastructure, and you also had this administration's commitment for anything the cities need. Um, I will definitely be backing you on anything that you need here in Washington, and I want to see us. I want to see cities flourish. One of the things that I like to see in my hometown is more restaurants, more hotels, more visitors to our town, and I'm sure that's what you want to see for your communities as well. And that's what this infrastructure program is all about, and the funding is all about. So I appreciate your time so much. Thank you so much for letting me come over here today and inviting me to come over today and talk to you about the infrastructure plans. Um, Again, you have my support across the street here, and we will work together to make America um, a much better place than it is now. I mean, it's a great country, but we will make it better. We'll improve our infrastructure, and one thing I'm reminded of, and I'm reminded of this Texas artist back home in Texas, and he talks about living out. He lives out in near El Paso, and he talks about living on the west side of the mountain. Him and his wife Sarah live on the west side of the mountain. For it's on the west side of the mountain that you can see the sunrise of the day ahead, and not the sunset of the day that's gone by. Well, I truly believe that the United States of America lives on the east side of the mountain, and our best days are truly ahead of us. May God bless you. May God bless our troops, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.